Welcome to Miami, Florida. Beautiful night downtown. The American Airlines Arena. Another sellout crowd expected to watch Shaquille O'Neal and the Heat try to win their third straight home game. They've been playing much better recently. Tonight, a tough task. The team with the best record in the NBA. Kevin Garnett and the Celtics with their first visit to Miami. And the starting lineups. Same starting five in each game so far for Boston. The big three. And, of course, Kendrick Perkins, who's done a solid job in the middle. And Rajon Rondo, who's handled himself very well as the starting point guard with the three all-stars, Garnett, Allen, and Pierce. And for Miami, some lineup changes last couple of games. Chris Quinn is starting at the point guard. Jason Williams currently coming off the bench. And Penny Hardaway starting at the small forward. Of course, the key man in the lineup is number 3. He missed the first 7 games. They're playing much better since he's returned. And they've won 3 of their last 5. So O'Neal will jump with Perkins. And we're set to go. Miami Heat lost their first 5 games, 8 of their first 9. And it was a tension-filled time for the Heat. But since Wade's come back, O'Neal playing better. Some of the new players kind of getting their feel. You just obviously see the improvement, Jeff.
Oh, they're playing much better. But it's all about your best players as O'Neal hits an unusual turnaround jump shot. O'Neal's played better. Wade's getting to the free throw line. But I would have loved to have been in the meeting where Pat Riley brought Chris Quinn and said, hey, you're my starting point guard.
Pierce knocks down his first shot, a three-pointer. Celtics just terrific offensively, best shooting team in the NBA. And here's Quinn bringing up the ball, the young man you speak of. He's 24. He looks about 13. It's his second year out of Notre Dame. Wasn't drafted, a free agent who doesn't commit a lot of mistakes, and that's one of the reasons Pat Riley likes him. Hardaway, the veteran, off the mark. For Quinn, it's his second start. He got the starting nod their last game, Tuesday, a victory against Charlotte. As Pat Riley shook things up a little bit. That basket will not count if it went in. Offensive foul is going to go against Boston. So Pat Riley changing the starting lineup. Ricky Davis and Jason Williams will both come off the bench, and you like the changes.
I do. I think it gives him better punch off the bench with Jason Williams, sort of frees him up to play his offensive game. Ricky Davis, to me, is best suited for that bench role. And it gives him a spot-up shooter in Chris Quinn to try to spread the defense.
O'Neal against Perkins. Hardaway the extra pass. Quinn finding Haslam. Haslam likes the baseline. By the way, I erred in terms of Boston being the best shooting team in the NBA. Utah is currently 1, but Boston right behind them. Celtics playing last night, and what a performance they put on. Trouncing the Knicks as Allen's pass deflected. Shot clock down. They reset it, but they shouldn't have. No. Anytime it hits the rim, even when it's not a shot attempt, they reset it. But what a performance from them last night. Beating the Knicks by 45. They led by as many as 52 in what was an embarrassment for the Knicks as Haslam comes up with a steal. Here comes Wade. O'Neal banks it in.
You see what I like right there was Penny Hardaway could have taken the jump shot, but because he knows who he is at this point in his career, he waited for O'Neal to come into the post, got O'Neal another touch, and a nice little bank shot.
So O'Neal, we saw him last Friday storming out of the gates against Yao Ming. Good start tonight.
All right, he's backing in. A little bit of a dig, but that knuckleball jump shot, and again, Hardaway doing a good shot. Paint catch by O'Neal, easy 4-foot jumper.
Ball deflected, a kick, so they'll reset the shot clock to 14. You mentioned Hardaway. Of course, Hardaway and his knee problems have been huge. He didn't do a lot of other members of the Heat. Even Jason Williams was saying he's such a smart player. He's really, what he's lost in explosiveness, he's trying to make up for in basketball IQ.
Well, you give him a lot of credit, not only fighting through injuries, but learning how to be a role player after being a star player in this league is very difficult to do.
Pierce misfires. O'Neal the rebound. So Shaq off to a good start. Nice feed inside to Haslam. Can't get it to call. And a loose ball foul. And it's going to go the other way against Udonis Haslam.
Well, a well-run fast break. Wade, nice pass. Again, Haslam doesn't elevate great. Not a great finisher in the paint. More of a jump shooter. and then compounded his miss with a foul 94 feet from the basket.
So those numbers for Wade. He leads the team in scoring and in assists and also steals. As we have a defensive 3 seconds. Technical foul. It's going to go against Shaq. So a one-shot technical. Ronnie Garrettson explaining it to him. See Doc Rivers over there on the sideline. His team arrived late here in Miami. They played the game against the Knicks in Boston last night. It was Ray Allen will shoot the technical. A long flight, a little over 3 hours. They didn't get into their hotel until about 4:30, part of back-to-back life in the NBA.
He should have let the starters in that game fly at halftime. That game was over.
It certainly was. Well, they didn't have to play a lot, so that might help. Perkins bad pass. Hardaway gives it right back to Allen. 3-on-2 now for the Celtics. Pierce spots up for 3. And the Celtics take a 1-point lead. All right, as a former coach, which is better? Getting in so late or getting in early and having a free night in Miami for your visiting team?
Unfortunately, the players get to sleep about the same time when they come to Miami.
You don't want to have a lot of off nights if you're a visiting coach here. As Haslam, nice up and under move from Udonis Haslam. Celtics, because of all the late flying, they don't play again until Sunday afternoon. They're actually going to stay over in Miami tonight. Normally they would fly back. So they'll get their chance tonight to have their fun.
You think about it, they're going to play 36 hours later back home. That's a very tough schedule.
Garnett misses. Wade comes out of the pack. Inside to O'Neal. They threw it a little bit behind him. Allen. Ray Allen from downtown. And the Celtics now 3 for 3 from long range. Only Reggie Miller has hit more three-pointers in NBA history than Ray Allen.
And it's been Miami's one defensive weakness is their three-point field goal percentage defense.
Haslam doing a little bit of everything. So far it's been Haslam and O'Neal with all 10 of the points for the Heat. Pierce 8 points on 3 of 4 from the field. Terrific start. Rondo a little over aggressive on the defense, and he'll pick up his first. Yeah, Miami comes in with a record of 4-10, but they've won 3 of their last 5. Again, the lineup changes with Williams now coming off the bench, and they lost their 2 straight. Still selling out. This is the 106th consecutive sellout. Late arriving crowd so far tonight. Usually is, especially on a Friday night. Wade jumper. And 2 Celtics tip it to O'Neal.
Think about it. They're 4-10, and after tonight, they're going out west for 6. It's a brutal time for them right now, and they've got to get wins.
Quinn gets inside. A dangerous pass nearly stolen by Rondo. Haslam offensive-minded early. Not that time. Of course, we mentioned, as Pierce carried it, we mentioned about the Celtics and the fact that they're the second best shooting team right now in the league. But the key turnaround, and we spoke about this in the pregame, was defense. Garnett obviously is the key, but what do you love about what they're doing defensively?
Well, I like their whole commitment. You know, they've added some high-energy guys. They've got Posey off the bench. They got Eddie House off the bench. Tony Allen's hurt tonight, but he's a defensive player coming back from injury. Scott Pollard. I just like their whole commitment to defense as Wade. Wow. Splits the double team with the spin.
No defense for that.
And I think Doc Rivers has renewed his commitment to defense because the offense right now is much easier. And then, again, I want to give my props to my former assistant, Tom Thibodeau, who's done a tremendous job being put in charge of the defense here with the Celtics.
The new assistant coach in his first year with the Celtics. Thibodeau was an assistant with you both in New York and in Houston. O'Neal running the floor on an easy 2. So you get your props to your peeps very early tonight.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to take some back from Kendrick Perkins. That's the second time Shaq at age 36 has beaten him down the floor in transition. As an opposing 5-man, you've got to beat O'Neal down, body him off his spot, and take away those easy baskets.
Garnett, the high release. Not that time. Perkins, the offensive board. And Perkins slams it home. Perkins comes into the game high on the Celtics, shooting 63% from the field. Obviously, he gets a lot of high percentage shots, but he's done a solid job, Jeff.
Except in transition. I mean, my God, you got to. Ooh.
And a travel. Hardaway wanted a foul, didn't get it. Instead of traveling call. And we'll have a timeout.
Well, this is just an incredible individual offensive move. Splitting a double team with a spin, and then Shaq running the floor like a gazelle. And it's tied at 14.
The easy does it, like a gazelle. Voice Sean Grant with the call of what has been a wonderful month of November. Allen now, as we mentioned, second behind Miller. He's the only active one amongst the top 5. And so much made about the addition of Kevin Garnett, certainly for the Celtics, but Ray Allen right there with him. Unbelievable job, Danny Ainge, in getting both those All-Stars.
For guys who were on a 24-win team the year before. Now tell me how he did that.
Right. An amazing turnaround. The Celtics was such a struggle. Part of it last year, Pierce missed a lot of games, but they had that 18-game losing streak. As Wade gets inside, kicks it out. The extra pass. Hardaway, not that time. And Rondo, who's a very good rebounding guard, grabs that one. Allen, maybe the sweetest jumper in the NBA right now.
We're thinking about how much they've improved their shooting in the offseason. They've added Ray Allen, James Posey shooting over 50% from 3, and Eddie Howe shooting over 45% from 3.
Hardaway right back to O'Neal. Shot clock winding down. Up and under, won't go. Taken back by Haslam. Haslam will try it again. He does. Haslam off to a superb start. He's got 8 points on 4 of 6 from the field.
And at the other end of the floor, Miami lost a lot of shooting in Jason Capono and James Posey. And shooting is such an integral part of the game.
And a foul call on O'Neal, who picks up his first. Of course, Posey is now a member of the Celtics, and he's going to enter for the first time. There's Posey, excellent three-point shooter, good defender. That's making sure he doesn't get a shot attempt up.
Man, that's got to hurt. Garnett doesn't want to show the pain, but I guarantee you there's some pain involved there.
So O'Neal and Hardaway, the old-timers, will get a rest. And Garnett seems like he's been around for such a long, long time. It's his 13th year in the league, but he's still only 31 years old. He'll turn 32 in May. And you see right now, last night, his average dropped under 20 because he only had 8 points. He only played 23 minutes last night, and that snapped a streak for him. He had scored in double figures in 411 consecutive games, 7th longest in NBA history, but because of the blowout nature of the game, didn't play a lot. From all the players, all the coaches, it's all about winning. And Garnett the rebound. Allen. Wade may have gotten a piece of it, though Haslam the rebound. Just under 3.5 remaining in the first. And a blocking foul for the first time tonight.
Well, very difficult to stop Dwayne Wade. Great right to left crossover in transition. Your defense is not back. It's not going to be able to take away those driving gaps, and especially when he can carry the ball like that. That's not a crossover, that's a carryover.
And he goes to a place where he spends a lot of time. He's 3rd in the NBA in free throw attempts per game at 11 per game. However, misses that one. And that's been always one of the keys for his successes, and his ability to get to the line.
It's also one of the reasons he's on the floor a lot. And those players tend to get hurt more often. They have to do something to preserve their body over time. And so what Dwayne Wade's done is become more of a pull-up jump shooter. He's improved his shooting. He's worked at his game. Because you can't play 82 games a year going to the floor that hard and that often.
Scott Pollard's come in for the Celtics. There's Posey. Holy block. Alonzo Mourning just into the game. Wade was looking at the basket before he caught it. And now we'll have a timeout. Still blocking shots after all these years. Alonzo Mourning in his 15th year in the league. Just under 3 minutes remaining. The Heat trying to get back on track defensively. Right now they trail by 1. All right, Mark, back here in Miami. Just under 3 to play in the first. Heat down by 1. The crowd continues to file in, including some celebs. What did you say earlier? Pudge was in the house?
The most inaptly nicknamed some person of all time. What's pudgy about that guy? He's like a rock.
No pudgy there. Maria Sharapova.
Yeah.
A fine tennis player.
Unbelievable career.
Pierce inside. Count it. And a foul. Pierce snuck in. And a chance for a three-point play. Foul on Ricky Davis, who just checked in. Davis with his first.
It's one of Boston's favorite plays to post Pierce up. They get him on a little brush screen going into the post, and when he catches, if he has any angle on you, you're in trouble. He is so strong. I don't know if people watching TV can realize that he's about 230 to 240 of chiseled granite. I mean, he is just impossible for someone like Ricky Davis. He gives up 20 pounds in the post.
Not the quickest guy, but he certainly gets to where he wants to go at all times.
Shoots it with range, gets to the free throw line.
Haslam dumps it in. Nice start from Haslam. Two-point lead for the Celtics. Celtics 4-2 on the road so far this season. Still perfect at home. 8-0 after last night's victory. And count the basket, three-pointer, and a foul on Davis for knocking down Posey. So Pierce's basket will count, and it'll be a one-shot foul for James Posey.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a four-point play this way, where the screener has gotten fouled on a made three-pointer. This is a first for Jeff Van Gundy. I hope Posey doesn't let me down right here.
Well, on a three-point attempt, the most an offensive team can score in that possession is 4. That's why he only gets the 1. And on a two-point attempt, it was a two-point attempt. Same thing, most you can score is 1 more. As Pierce off already with 14 points. Misses the free throw. Rondo keeps it alive. How about Rondo in a college game at Kentucky? He had 19 rebounds in a college game.
He's got great instincts for the ball.
Pass out to Allen. Allen fires away. And Haslam another rebound. Wade. Bad pass. And the Heat turn it over for the 5th time. Wade will stay in the game. Daquan Cook, the rookie from Ohio State, is in. Meanwhile, Davis quickly sits down.
And that quick hook is because of how he defended Paul Pierce. 2-point layup given up in the post, then gave up the open 3 to Pierce. And again, I think Pat Riley right now with his team has no tolerance for lack of readiness. He knows the season can be lost early, and he knows how important every game is. I like the stand he's making with his team.
Allen inside to Pollard. Mourning takes it away. Davis did pick up his 2nd foul, but Riley was not happy with him. Cook quickly shoots and quickly puts it in. That's what they say about this kid. Just played 1 year of college ball at Ohio State, and they say he's never nervous and is not shy about putting it up. He scored 19, his early career high, on Tuesday against Charlotte, as Wade is called for the reach-in. That'll be his first foul, and the team now in the penalty. So free throws for Pierce again. Talk about guys that get to the line a lot. Pierce, whose nickname is The Truth, the man who gave him that nickname is in the building. Shaquille O'Neal gave him that nickname way back when O'Neal was playing with the Lakers. back in March of 2001. He saw Pierce play the game, and he said, talking to reporters afterwards about how, boy, this guy does so many different things. He is the truth, and that nickname stuck. O'Neal prides himself, by the way, in giving nicknames, especially himself. Our NBA calendar for this week. Saturday on NBA TV, Raptors and Wizards from Washington, D.C., 7 Eastern. Then Wednesday on ESPN, Lakers and Nuggets in Denver, 9 Eastern start. And then on TNT, the doubleheader, Nuggets play in Dallas. And these Heat, part of their West Coast trip, will play the Blazers. Wade to Haslam. Cook will shoot it. He's not shy. Knocks it down. 2 for 2. 5 quick points off the bench.
And he was out way before the game working with Eric Spoelstra, the assistant for the Heat, just on those type of shots and working a lot on his pull-up jump shot off the dribble. I think his challenge is, like most young players, defensively. Who can he guard and what can he guard?
Pollard, Scalabrine. Brian Scalabrine nails one from downtown. And they're back up by 5. Celtics 5 of 6 from three-point range. Williams, Wade, Mourning, Haslam, and Cook. Wade to the basket, and once again draws the foul and goes down hard. Battling against his former teammate, Posey. They call it on Pollard. It'll be Pollard's first.
Pollard just doesn't have the foot speed when Wade's got a head of steam coming at him to keep him from getting an angle and drawing a foul. His foot speed is not there. I'm surprised they're not going with Glenn Davis off the bench tonight, who has a better opportunity to be able to move his feet, particularly when you're not guarding Shaquille O'Neal.
Glenn Davis, the rookie from LSU, who's been playing a lot recently. Pollard now comes out. There's Davis. Had a good game last night against the Knicks.
And this substitution takes all the size off the floor for the Celtics. So in a one-shot situation that Boston will have, Mourning's going to have to guard Scalabrine, but on a missed free throw, Mourning might have gotten that offensive rebound. So it'll be interesting to see how Mourning defends this last possession.
Shot clock turned off. Alexander Johnson, second-year player out of Florida State, has checked in briefly for the Heat. Cook, the rookie, on Pierce. Pierce gets away from the double team. Shot blocked by Mourning, but a foul. They're going to say in the restricted area. So 2 more free throws for Pierce, who is at a superb first quarter. 16 points already. Johnson the foul.
Pierce is much more effective on the baseline than he is to the middle of the floor. And I'm not sure he was in that restricted area.
It appeared from the first replay when we saw his heels that they were not over. I don't know if he got there in time, though.
Right. But when they point to the ground, they're saying he was there in time. It's a restricted area call.
And that was Violet Palmer, the official. Who's your favorite female official in the NBA, correct?
Well, obviously making fun that there's only one NBA official that's a woman, but I do like her. She's tough. She communicates with the coaches and the players. I like her very much. I think she's an underrated official. It's
11th year in the league for her, so she has very quietly become a very solid ref. That'll count if it goes. Not a bad shot attempt from Cook, as that will end the first quarter. Paul Pierce putting on a show. 18 points, got to the line 5 times. Meanwhile, Udonis Haslem, 10 points. He's in double figures for the Miami Heat. First quarter complete here at the American Airlines Arena, and the Celtics with a 6-point advantage. The Miami Heat care about the community. Each season, Dwayne Wade hosts a number of community events, including a week of Wade's World in South Florida. And he also has a number of events back at his hometown of Chicago. For his dedication to giving back to the community, Wade and also Steve Nash of the Suns were named USA Weekend's Most Caring Athletes for 2007. The NBA, where caring happens. Back in Miami, Wade and the Heat trailing by 6. Thanks to Paul Pierce erupting with 18 points Is there anybody happier in terms of Celtic players than Paul Pierce to have the reinforcements with the Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett's?
Well, he's got a chance. Whenever you have a chance,
nice
great
move.
Cut. Finishing with his left, Posey did. But all you want is a chance to win in the NBA. That's what the great ones want. And Pierce knew he didn't have a chance before they retooled their team and took all the young, inexperienced, unproven players and turned them into very proven, winning NBA players in Garnett and Ray Allen.
Pierce was even saying after last season he wasn't sure if he was going to be back with the Celtics. So much happened. Of course, they had the lottery pick that they were hoping were going to be number 1 or 2. Pollard knocks it out of bounds. So not only do they win just 24 games, have just a disastrous season, then their hopes of getting either Greg Oden or Kevin Durant are gone. Granted, get a nice player, but not the ones they were hoping for. And then Danny Ainge suddenly made a couple of deals. And life in Boston is wonderful if you're a Celtic fan. Wade can't hit. Pollard the rebound. House. Scalabrini throws it. House almost with the save. Oh, Cook with a fancy move. Cook to Wade through a 2-4 head. Gets it back. Won't go. Rebound tip. And it's going to be Miami ball. Or are they going to call a foul? Yep, on Scalabrini. So he picks up his first. It is Heat ball.
But I like this unit for Boston. They've got Paul Pierce, who they can go to as the other 2 stars sit. And they've got a bunch of energy players who can also shoot. Posey can shoot it from deep. House can shoot it from deep. Scalabrini stretches it as a shooting 4-man. It's a good lineup on those nights where maybe they don't have great energy because of their schedule.
Jason Williams, not that time. Williams has been struggling shooting the ball. Big year for him. His contract up after this year, so playing for a new contract. Had a good game the other night. 8 assists, no turnovers in the victory over Charlotte. Pierce spinning against Ricky Davis. Eddie House 2 on the shot clock, blocked by O'Neal. His second rejection and a 24-second violation.
24-second violation. Heat ball.
Right now the Boston Celtics with 9 turnovers already, but they lead by 8. Shaq double. Taking his time. It's inside and hacked by Pollard. Those two had their share of fun when O'Neal was with the Lakers and Pollard was with the Sacramento Kings. So Pollard's picked up his second foul.
But if you're Pat Riley, look at the team you have on the floor right now. Unproven Daquan Cook, unproven Alexander Johnson, Jason Williams in a horrific shooting slump, Ricky Davis, mercurial at best, and Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, you just don't have a lot surrounding their best 2 players.
Horrific, mercurial, very descriptive. Very impressed. Have you been carrying the thesaurus with you?
Well, Mrs. Crandall, my English teacher back at Brockport High School, will be very proud of me tonight.
A shout out for Mrs. Crandall tonight. You know, you usually bring one personal person from your early life into each broadcast, and I know they appreciate it. Posey, nice move from Posey. He's had a couple of pretty moves around the basket.
Yeah, but Daquan Cook, you've got to study. He's got to study. Who are you guarding? Posey throws it in. The second time he's thrown it into Pierce and got it back on a baseline cut. Inexcusable.
Inexperience as well. Pat Riley calls a timeout. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the second. Celtics by 9.
They were booing Isaiah during intros at Madison Square Garden.
Well, Mark, that has happened in a lot of home games, especially after the disaster last night. One of the worst losses in franchise history and one of the best victories in franchise history for the Celtics. And the Knicks Just getting hammered. You made the joke about the Celtics could have sent their starters down to Miami at halftime. That's as ugly a loss as you've seen in the NBA in a long time.
But the point is, why are they taking all of the resentment out on Isaiah Thomas? It's the players, too. Why are the players getting a free pass right now? Some very highly paid players are not performing at all. And worse, they're not competing. If you don't compete, just after you come off a great win against Utah, the next night you come out, your first national televised game in seemingly years, and that's what you do? That's not on. I'm really going to lose my mind if Posey gets another layup, by the way, on a baseline cut. But it took me off track. But I really, like, it's a players' league. That's on the players.
Well, Stephon Marbury, who's been hearing as many boos as Isaiah Thomas, as they call a foul on Scalabrine, but it's Thomas's team in terms of he's not only the coach, but he's the president. He's the one that brought in these players.
Right. I don't believe they have a lot of guys who are high IQ, high energy, committed to winning type players. They've got a lot of guys who've shown the ability to put up numbers in this league, but not winning numbers.
Johnson stripped. Eddie House able to save it. Allen trying to find some room and draws the foul on the rookie. So Allen back to the line. By the way, the Celtics, so they led by 52 last night. They had a game earlier in the season against Denver. They led by 41. They've had a couple of just extraordinary performances. Now, granted, their schedule has not been difficult yet. They haven't gone out west. But in terms of what's ahead of them, they have taken care of business.
Well, when you have a point differential of plus 14, you're a dominant team. And this is a type of team, because of their firepower, because of their bench energy, because of their coaching, that they could win 58, 60 games if they stay healthy.
They win tonight. If they defeat the Heat, it'll be their 13th win of the season. Last year, they didn't win their 13th game till February 14th. And you wonder why the Celtic fans are downright giddy in Boston. Jason Williams again can't find the mark, and Posey the rebound.
It's a make or miss league. Right now, Boston's making. Jason Williams had 3 good looks at it, missed them all. You've got to make in this league.
So the Heat could use James Posey at both ends of the floor. Financial, one of the reasons why didn't re-sign him, as Scalabrine misses. Williams get a running start. Cook fires away, and that one hit the shot clock. Well, you can't even start counting before he gets the ball and shoots it. But that's one of the things they like about him. He's just so aggressive. So many rookies hesitant, but he's going to look for his shots as he comes out of the game.
And they do need that. They need that burst of offensive energy. But I've always wondered, when you said it's a financial decision, are you better off losing more or winning for financial gain?
Spoken like a true coach.
And when you're a billionaire,
that won't count. Offensive foul call. That's going to be the third on Pollard. Go ahead, finish your thought.
Well, I guess if you're a billionaire, does it really matter if you spend a couple extra million? I know it's not my extra million since I don't have any, and that's probably why I'm never going to make $1 billion either, because I don't care about $1 million here or there. But I'm just wondering, like, if I was ever an owner, if I ever get to be that fortunate where I'm a billionaire, I am definitely going over the luxury tax. I'm telling you right here and right now. I'm a billionaire, I'm going over.
Boy, that is a bold prediction.
So other owners out there, beware.
A guarantee. Mickey Harrison, the owner, who's here tonight watching the game.
He's probably not really worried about my financial.
No, I don't think he cares, as Haslam knocks down the shot. Heat, by the way, now down by 12. Wade on Allen. Garnett. Nice banker from Garnett. His second field goal.
He's just got such a high release that if Udonis Haslam lets him catch it that close, he has no chance of defending.
Williams, nice move to the basket. .42-30. Boston in control right now. Allen for 3. Pat Riley milling to Jason Williams. Push it up, push it up. He does and fires it up, rattles it in. Three-pointer for Williams. Riley has said he wanted Williams to be more aggressive. Felt he wasn't looking for his shot enough. Every player's dream to have a coach tell you, look to shoot more. And a timeout call. The Heat with a little spurt. They're still down by 9.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by the stylish 2008 Mercury Milan. Mercury, new doors opened. And Phillips Noroko. Phillips, sense and simplicity.
This ESPN production available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. Here in Miami, Florida. Showed you Maria Sharapova and Pudge Rodriguez. Dontrell Willis of the Florida Marlins also here in attendance in this sellout crowd. Of course, you look, it's been a great time for the Boston fan, but how about the Miami fan? Marlins struggled. Boston College a great year. The Hurricanes had a rough season. Of course, the Patriots and Dolphins can't be further apart than that. And then the Celtics and the Heat trying to come back, but still right now last in their division. So tough to be a sports fan. Your loyalty being tested down here in South Florida.
Dontrell Willis could be traded to the Mets, I do believe.
From your sources, as Eddie House puts it in. You know, you're more opinionated about baseball than you are about the NBA.
Omar Minaya to the white courtesy phone. We need a #1 starter. Johan Santana seems like he might be a person of interest.
Haslam on the pull-up, way off the mark. There was a knuckleball. Obviously say you are a big Met fan. Are you going to the winter meetings? Is Garnett shot in and out?
What a great thing for the baseball executives to get to Nashville. A little country music, a little trade talk.
Here come the Celtics. Allen off the fake. The floater won't go. Gets his own rebound. O'Neal holds on. 12-point game with 5.5 to play in the second. Jason Williams. Sometimes I see you shaking your head as he's pulling up for that jumper.
No, you have to give guys their shot, their game, which Pat Riley's done. That pull-up in transition, when you have numbers, goes against every basketball purist mentality of what a fast break should be. Thinking layup first. Jason Williams is thinking three-point shot first.
Well, he has the last 8 points for the Heat. Eddie House always thinking three-pointers, and House able to put it in. The Celtics 8 for 11 from downtown.
They've got to close harder and make players like House put the ball on the ground and drive it into the teeth of the defense.
Wade pass deflected by Allen. You talk to Doc Rivers, he'll tell you that the defense of Paul Pierce has never been better. Ray Allen, terrific defense, all feeding off the energy defensively of that man, Kevin Garnett. Is he going to pull up again? No. Allen gets up on him. Trying to work the pick and roll. Haslam gets inside. Extra pass deflected by House. Garnett saves it. And Kevin Garnett for an easy 2. Eddie House's defense leads to an easy 2. And the largest lead of the game for the Celtics at 14. They had a game earlier this season. They had 20 steals. The Celtics did. Davis, not even close. Hear a little smattering of boos. Allen gets fancy. Garnett, nice feed. Perkins is fouled. Shaq picks up his second, and Perkins will shoot 2.
The flow, the rhythm, the unselfishness of the Celtics on offense is just tremendous. And at the other end, they're giving great help defensively. They are really tied together as a team right now, playing as one.
Wade and House chatting as Perkins goes to the line. Perkins He's only 23 years old. This is his 5th year in the league. He was one of those, didn't get a lot of publicity when he came out of Ozen High School in Texas, right from high school to the NBA. He was a first-round pick of Memphis, but didn't play with them. He was quickly traded to Boston. When he was in high school, his years in high school at Ozen High School, his team was 96-3. That's a pretty good winning percentage. He's one of those guys that he credits his high school coach, a fellow by the name of Andre Boet, for everything, teaching him everything. The high school coaches, the unsung heroes of basketball. And right now the Celtics up by 16.
It's a really important 3.5 minutes for Miami. They've got to keep it within striking distance.
Jason Williams trying to do that. Perkins the rebound. Boston Celtics operating on all cylinders again. And House says, let's bring it out. House from way outside.
He's a much different shooter off the dribble than he is on the pass.
And offensive foul call. I don't know about that one. I don't know if Haslam had room to move after he caught the ball. Posey makes a smart play to draw the charge. What do you think here, Jeff?
Well, nice play. He's in the restricted area, but that is not significant because he caught it in the lower defensive box. It's just, did he beat him to the spot? I think it's the right call. A charge against Haslam.
In coordination with ESPN's Jimmy V Week, all NBA game officials participating in the V Foundation's Blow the Whistle on Cancer campaign by donating a portion of their salary from this week's games to the V Foundation. In honor of the officials' donations, the NBA League office matching the officials' personal donations, and donations made to the Blow the Whistle on Cancer will help fund essential cancer research nationwide. The Jimmy V Foundation's raised about $70 million. So join ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Call 1-800-4JIMMY-V or log on to www.jimmyv.org and donate. Jimmy V unfortunately passed so many years ago, but his legacy is living on in just an incredible foundation. And thank you to the NBA officials. NFL officials are also contributing. It's an amazing charity that has kept that man's spirit alive.
That speech given at the ESPYs still gives me goosebumps. I mean, the courage that he spoke with that night when he was in such pain, truly incredible.
One of the great examples of the human spirit I think we've all ever witnessed as Haslam tries to save it. Boston up by 18 with 2:21 remaining.
It shows mental toughness by Boston. Getting in late after a blowout victory, easily could have gotten off to a slow start tonight. More than ready to play. It wasn't like Miami's not ready to play. They're just being outplayed by a very, very good Boston team.
Allen felt the contact and threw it up at the basket. Are you surprised how quickly? I mean, let's face it. You bring in guys like Garnett and Allen, as terrific as they are, as unselfish and veterans, still guys that are such an integral part of the offense, how quickly they've meshed at both ends of the floor.
Not with Garnett. Garnett's unique. His numbers speak for themselves, but it's his energy, it's his passion, it's his hunger to have a realistic chance of winning and advancing in the playoffs. Ray Allen's at the point of his career where numbers are less significant. Same with Pierce. And then they brought in quality energy guys, and Eddie House and Posey. Very good job of team building that many in management don't understand how it all fits together.
Well, those three you speak of, Garnett, Allen, and Pierce, 22 All-Star appearances combined, 0 rings, and 0 appearances in the NBA Finals. They've all been to conference finals, as Williams misses that one, but none of them have reached the championship series. Garnett against Haslam. 20-point lead. Celtics pulling away here in the second, and a foul on Haslam. So 3 fouls on Udonis Haslam, and Garnett to the line. you know, what you spoke about with him, about his passion. There are a lot of people that feel that there's not a lot of true leaders right now. He is definitely a true leader, and you ask anybody on the Celtics, they'll talk about his intensity at practice every single day, at shoot-arounds, even at film meetings, how intense he is.
Well, you can't find leadership is about what you do versus what you say. Garnett does the right things, then says the right things, and then unifies his teammates by including everyone. You don't hear them separating themselves, calling themselves the big three. They're about a team, and that sense of unity, it's all driven by what he'll do, and Pierce, and Allen.
Wade draws the foul. In fact, they don't want to hear about the big three. They get annoyed when it's brought up. Garnett himself will not do a separate on-camera interview. All his interviews right now have to be done with Allen and Pierce next to him. He wants to make it a team thing.
But see, that's experience. Knowing that there'll be people who try to drive a wedge between the three best players. You're not getting enough shots. Too much credit being given to the other guys. He's stepping forward before that even happens and doing things like you just said.
And you look at their percentage of what they put up statistic-wise for the Celtics, but they are the first ones to tell you. You know, we talked to Ray Allen before the game, and he's talking about Rondo and Perkins. Same thing with Garnett. He'll tell you about how Glenn Davis is getting better. They keep talking about and deflecting the praise towards them and talking about how it's a full team, and the team has embraced that they haven't won. First off, that they're not just a big three, but that they haven't done anything or won anything. They go down the other way. As Doc Rivers says, hey, they didn't name the big three when it was Bird, McHale, and Parrish until after they won a championship.
To anoint a team after 14 games is just too soon. You've got to prove it over time. And you've got to prove it in the crucible known as the NBA playoffs.
And they'll be the first ones to tell you that. They are not certainly content. They're happy, but not content with their start. Garnett inside. Nice feed. And a whistle. 3-second violation.
That's great effort by Alonzo Mourning. Going up to challenge multiple shots. And because of his shot blocking prowess, it leads to that 3-second violation.
The Heat with just 12 points in this second period. Wade stripped, but still Miami ball. So a disastrous second quarter. Heat just 4 of 15 from the field in this period.
That's a great thing if you're a Celtic or a Celtic fan. If your team plays well on a given night because you have such a high level of talent, you're going to win games.
Posey on a reach-in foul. Celtics in the penalty, so Wade will go back. Posey part of the team that won the championship in 2006 here in Miami. And now doing some good things. 5th in the NBA in three-point shooting. And he's always been a very good defender. As Wade goes to the line.
And he just brings a unique sense of energy to a team.
Coming up at halftime, head to the NBA studio. Mark Jones, Bill Walton, Stephen A. Smith, the Toyota halftime show. We'll talk about how to fix the Knicks. LeBron James in a index finger injury. And in football, an arrest made in the Sean Taylor case. Details all coming up on the Toyota halftime show. 57-39. Celtics with another impressive first half. They did it last night. So as the foul's called on Cook. 3 on Cook.
Now, if you're Daquan Cook, and I know you're a rookie,
but here we go.
But you have to know that Ray Allen is a 90% free throw shooter. You bodying up. I mean, Pat Riley, I can feel his frustration. It's just, you like a lot of isolated skills that Cook has, his shooting, his aggression, his energy, and yet his defense has been downright deplorable tonight. It's just, it's hard to win when you make when you're relying on people that make this many mistakes. And that's not to take anything away from the career he's going to have. But for right now, for Miami to win against such a high-quality team, you've got to be able to play guys who make a minimum of mistakes.
A couple more substitutions. Davis back in. So the Heat coming in, they'd won 2 straight home games. Had a good win against Charlotte the other night. They've been shooting the ball extremely well at home last couple of games, but 11 turnovers here in the first half. And their defense has not been able to get it done. Posey on Wade. Nice feed to Davis. Davis may have gotten away with a travel, but he got hit. Garnett the foul.
A nice back cut by Davis.
Looks like he lifted that pivot foot. Davis coming off the bench, maybe not a bad thing. When he played for the Celtics and played for Doc Rivers, he was the 6th man for them. Finished 2nd in the voting that year. Had one of his better years in the NBA. Ben Gordon won it. And came off the bench the other night, had 23 points. Now his 10th year in the league. He's played for 6 different teams, including a short stint here in Miami. That didn't work out so well, and was upset that Pat Riley talked so much about defense after he was let go.
Well, that's just he was here when he was young. You grow, you try to hopefully mature, understand the league, what goes into winning.
He can score, though, that's for sure. Eddie House, not that time. Ball deflected. Allen steps back. Eddie House, and it's going to be Heat ball. Doc Rivers arguing the call with 2.8 remaining. And Pat Riley will call a 20-second timeout to set up a play.
That's fake anger by Doc Rivers. He's not upset. You know, he knows he's got a great team. They're rolling again tonight. But you got to look like you're upset sometimes.
Well, that's as our colleague Mark Jackson says. What does he call that? Fake hustle?
Yeah. Where is Mark Jackson?
He hasn't been seen in quite some time. We understand he's going to join us in a couple of weeks. And he's going to do some games when we head out.
I wasn't asking like I was worried that he wasn't coming back. I'm not like looking for him to come back soon. Was just asking.
I think deep down inside you miss him.
No, I don't. I like the extra room I have here at the table. I'm able to spread out.
It was a little crowded when he was here.
Well, he's expanded since he played, so it was very crowded.
Well, hopefully he'll join us soon. Rivers still trying to get an edge as Williams will inbound. Full court pressure. With 2.8 remaining. Crowd has gotten very quiet. Heat haven't had a field goal in about 5.5 minutes. Wade catches. Good shot attempt at half court, but too strong. And that will end the first half. Miami trailed just by 6 after the first quarter, now down by 18. Pierce had that huge first quarter, all 18 of them. Got a lot of help in the second quarter as the Boston Celtics continue to impress. Again, the Toyota halftime show coming up. The guys will talk about the Knicks, the Cavs, and other news, including the latest in the Sean Taylor case. All coming up after these messages. Halftime in Miami. The Celtics, the best record in the NBA with an 18-point advantage. This ESPN production available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. South Beach in Miami on a beautiful Friday night. Not so great for the Heat fans at halftime. Boston Celtics continue to roll. Big second quarter. We outscored them 28-16, and they lead by 18. Hi again, everyone. We're Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. Celtics with the best record in the NBA coming in, 12-2. They just continue to roll. It's just so impressive how quickly they've gelled.
Well, they're playing so unselfishly at both ends of the floor. They're passing. Even though they turned it over a little bit too much, they were hitting the open man, and it turned into wide open three-point shots. They were 8 for 13 from threes, coming off extra passes and ball movement. Just tremendous.
And that's our Adidas team moment in a very unselfish bunch right now, the way they're passing the ball. And as Jeff mentioned, shooting, getting great open looks.
Good screens, nice passes, in-rhythm jumpers. Ray Allen pulling up off the break. Pollard, a nice skip pass for Scalabrine, corner three, and then Eddie House, one of 3 3-pointers he had in the first half.
And then defensively, they did an excellent job as well. Again, only 41 points for the Miami Heat. And you see the numbers, the Heat shooting 43%. Meanwhile, for Miami, Jeff, Shaq and Dwayne Wade just didn't get enough good looks at the basket.
They only had 9 shots in 40 minutes of action, so you got to get your two best players more shots, better shots than they had in the first half.
So we're set to go to begin the third quarter. Monty Garrettson waiting for us to get our cameras off the court.
Just a random thought, Mike. You know that Olivia thing? I wonder if that's going to be the new craze and how to spell Olivia as a child's name with the double dot over the O.
You know, whenever you start a sentence with just a random thought, there's part of me that winces. Garnett, in and out and in again. We should get that sponsored. Random Thoughts with Jeff Van Gundy.
That could be my whole life.
Meanwhile, lead back up to 20. It was as many as 21. All right, if you're Miami, you saw last night that the Celtics just broke the spirit of the Knicks and blew them away. You don't expect that from the Heat as Wade misfires. Haslam gets the rebound and a bad pass. I think Wade jammed a finger.
But I liked where they went. He dropped him down into the post. A different look, a different angle for Wade. He got 2 good shot attempts. He would have had a third if he was able to catch Haslam's pass. Sometimes you have to force feed the action to your best players.
Again for Miami, after this game, they have a 6-game West Coast trip, 6 games in 9 days. And they play some tough teams in that trip. Pierce, shot clock at 3. Garnett. And Garnett didn't look for a shot a lot in the first half, didn't have to. Now with 13 points.
Again, another example of great extra passing by Rondo. Could have taken the shot, gave it up for a better shot for Garnett.
There's Quinn, who got the start at point. Quinn and Hardaway are starting. Quinn lines himself up and hits a 3-pointer. Chris Quinn, the young man from Notre Dame, with his first shot attempt of the night. Poked away by Hardaway. Pierce gets it back. Shot clock at 5. Garnett. And Garnett with 3 straight shots here to start the third quarter. So it's gotten very quiet here in Miami. Obviously, they lost their first 5 games. They'd heard some boos. Well, the last couple of home performances, including that game against Houston, the place was rocking as O'Neal able to knock it down. Well, the Celtics have done that a lot. They've quieted a lot of crowds.
Well, they've got a well-balanced team. They're going to be able to be a very good road team because they defend well and they can get their best players good shots.
Like Ray Allen. Well, not that time. Garnett, though, able to get the rebound. Garnett currently been in the top 10. He's led the NBA in rebounds 4 years in a row. He's 5th now. Pierce just takes his time and nails another 3. 9 for 14 from downtown, and this equals the largest lead of the game. You're making it look easy.
It's not that easy, but they sure have played like it is.
Ball stripped. Here comes Rondo. Pierce, by the way, 4 for 4 from 3-point range. 5 for 5 from 3-point range. 71-46. There's actually some Celtic fans here, and you can hear them cheering, perhaps. And Pat Riley's going to call a timeout. The second straight night, the Boston Celtics embarrassing a team from the Atlantic Division.
Fly home the starters early again tonight. Get them rested for that 12:30 game on Sunday.
He's a leader because it's pure, you know. And what I mean by that, he doesn't give a lot of rah-rah speeches or anything like that. He just does it. He never comes out of practice. It's been our biggest disagreement so far as players coach is trying to get him to just sit down a couple of possessions in practice. You know, no one, the guys now are scared to ask him to come out because he turns them down. But he does it every day. He plays with high energy in practice. He plays with high energy in games. He's high energy on the bus. He's high energy on the airplanes, and it's not fake. And he shows that to his teammates. In shoot-arounds, he asks questions. He's concerned about coverage. He wants to know about it, and everyone else has to follow. But he's not doing it for any other reason but to win. You know, it's in its purest form, and I think that's why it's so effective.
Some pretty high praise from a guy. Doc Rivers, of course, spent a lot of years in the NBA as a coach and a player. And you get that from everybody. You hear the same type of comments, no matter what teammate or coach of Kevin Garnett.
There are very few star players who would get that sort of praise. Not that they aren't great players, but great practice players, high energy practice players. Very few star players in the NBA fit that bill like Garnett does.
Talking to Brian Scalabrine before the game, the lead is 23 right now. Garnett not that time. Scalabrine said, he's been in the league 7 years, he's never seen anybody like him in terms of the consistency of every single day. Whether it's, again, practice, a game, shoot around. He also said that when it's game time and it's practice time, he is so serious. Allen misses that. Now, when it's over and in the locker room on the plane, he's as fun as any guy who's been around, but it's all business when it comes time to work. Quinn.
And shouldn't that be the norm?
Right.
You know, somewhere along the way it's been misconstrued that, you know, you can't have fun if you don't work hard. You can't have fun in this league if you don't win. You can't have fun if you don't prepare. That's the way you have fun in this league, by being a serious professional. And Scalabrine's played with Jason Kidd, who's one of the highest energy players. And so for Garnett to garner that type of praise, even higher than the praise he would give Jason Kidd, it's a true compliment by Scalabrine.
Wade tried to throw it O'Neal, who was not expecting a pass. The Celtics have done this to a number of teams. They embarrass you. That shot won't count. Foul before the shot. Now, the Heat have not played since Tuesday night. The Celtics, of course, as we mentioned, played last night in New York. An easy one in the 45-point win against the Knicks, but didn't arrive until 4:30. I think they got their rest, Jeff.
Again, if you're high energy as a player, you're high energy despite circumstances. And Garnett, Pierce, House, Posey, they're high energy.
Here's not that time. When you coach, you had a couple of guys as Allen gets the tip, puts it inside. Garnett blocked. Alonzo Mourning with the direction. Last touch by the Heat. When you were in New York, you had a Patrick Ewing. You had a Yao Ming in Houston. When you have your best players who have that work ethic.
Yeah, when you're committed to winning, you're going to play. You'd play anywhere, anytime, under any circumstances. So back-to-back, 4:30, on the playground, whatever. Guys who are competitors compete. And that's who Garnett is.
Midway through the third, it's all Boston. The 12-2 Celtics looking for their 5th road win of the season. And Penny Hardaway, a little sarcastic cheer from the fans as he nails a 3. It's been a rough one for the Miami Heat.
To me, it's been more about how good Boston has played than how poorly Miami's played. Let me take that back.
That's their 16th turnover, and we have 5.5 to play in the third. You see the Celtics missing the last 7 shots, yet they're still up by 20. That streak is over. 17 for Garnett. He's come out strong. 8 of his 17 so far here in the third.
You play Garnett with a smaller player, he posts and shoots over the top. You play him with a bigger player, he can stretch out and make perimeter jump shots.
Hardaway gets it out. Jason Williams back up top. The extra pass. Haslam can't hit. Nearly tipped in by Hardaway, and Pierce rebound. Garnett, pretty feed. Mourning got another piece of it. Second block of the period. Wade, too strong for Hardaway. And Rondo the rebound.
Whenever you say Hardaway in Miami Heat, I think automatically of Tim Hardaway. Every single time. And he's here in the building tonight, too. What a point guard. What a career he had.
The Heat, and there's Hardaway. Heat, meanwhile, hearing some boos. Mourning leading the break. And there's the reason why it shouldn't happen. And here, pretty strong boos right now. Garnett can't finish, gets the rebound over Hardaway. A couple of the Heat players, including Wade and Mourning, not hustling back. And right now, the Heat not playing with much spirit.
And really, right now, if they would just get their game tight where they don't turn it over, they might be able to work their way back into a manageable deficit going into the fourth.
A long night for Miami right now. The Celtics keep rolling along.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by DirecTV. Get over 85 of the best channels in HD now. And Mitsubishi Motors, driven to thrill.
Back in Miami at the American Airlines Arena. The retired jerseys. There's a Dan Marino jersey, and you can see up at the top a Michael Jordan jersey is the only basketball jersey retired, Jeff.
Which Pat Riley and Miami Heat did a number of years ago, and I find it very odd that they would have done that. Now, the sentiment was right. Jordan contributed so much to the game and to the league, but I just don't understand that first jersey as a basketball player being retired here, being Jordan and not a guy like Alonzo Mourning. And if I was president of the Heat for a day, that would be my first move. I'd bring that bad boy down and...
Oh, so you'd remove the jersey?
Yeah, because Jordan's career, what he did in Chicago was remarkable and worthy of being a statue out front of the old Chicago Stadium and the new place, the United Center, but not here in Miami. Again, the sentiment, I understand. I disagree with the decision.
And Mourning's jersey will go up there someday. There's no doubt about it. This might be his last year in the NBA.
Should have been the first jersey retired.
I like that. I agree with that. And again, Pat Riley suffered a lot of tough losses when he was the head coach of the Knicks to Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
What's next, an Allen Houston jersey up here?
All right, now we got one step too far. Perkins guarding Mourning. 3.5 remaining. It's been another blowout for the Boston Celtics. And then Pierce is fouled by Mourning. Frustrated Alonzo Mourning. Second straight night. I mentioned earlier, second straight night blowing out an Atlantic Division team. Obviously, the Heat are in the Southeast. I like going back to the old brackets. Very traditional.
Yeah, I don't understand the new ones. Plus, division championships to me don't mean anything. They really don't. It's gotten to the point where there's 6 divisions. It's about, conferences to me, and I think that's where you think, well, we played well against the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference. You never hear anybody say, boy, that Southeast division is just a monster this year.
I think the majority of fans would agree. Shot clock winding down. And it's going to be a 24-second. Oh, they reset it. No, it should not have been. Riley's upset. Perkins goes underneath and puts it in. The Heat really never had control for them to reset the shot clock. That's what Pat Riley was trying to argue. And a lead back up to 25, equaling the largest of the game. Williams. Davis got hit. Pierce the foul, his second.
Celtics foul for 34. Second team.
This is considered a close game for the Celtics compared to last night when they were up by 52.
Well, they at one point had doubled the Knicks up. That's hard to do.
Let's take a look at our NBA calendar coming up. First Saturday on NBA TV, Raptors and Wizards, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. The next Wednesday, Lakers and Nuggets in Denver, 9 Eastern Time. And the doubleheader on TNT, Nuggets and Mavericks. And then the Heat in Portland against the Blazers, part of that 6-game trip. That might be one of those trips as Garnett knocks it down for the Heat, where they come together, band together, get some impressive wins, or they could come back in a heap of trouble. Davis throws it away. 19 turnovers, 8 of them here in the third quarter, and here come the boos again.
Sometimes when it's going bad for you as a team, like it is tonight, and it has been so far this year, 4-11 after tonight's game, going on the road is the best medicine for your team. You can band together. Just think if they could get 3 of those 6. And they have some winnable games out there that they could get. It'd be a great road trip to come back 3-3 off that road trip.
Well, they played Denver, Utah, Portland, Golden State, the Clippers, and finish in Phoenix.
That 6th game may not be pretty.
Pierce has to force it up. Rondo on the follow, comes flying in. Kid has done a solid job. So many questions about him. He certainly hasn't been spectacular, but he's been very solid.
He has, but there's still so many more questions to be answered.
Another turnover, another steal, and more boos. 12 steals for Boston. Pierce drives on the rookie Cook. And a whistle.
Well, he's just a great offensive rebounder, Rondo is. That's just a heck of a play. Desperation shot by Pierce. No block out, running start. And a finish.
Rondo played 2 years at Kentucky. Was a first-round pick a couple of years ago by Phoenix, but they traded him with Brian Grant for a first-rounder. Said had a career in Kentucky where he had that 19-rebound game. That's hard for a point guard to do. Inside, and a foul on Haslam, and the Heat have just fallen asleep defensively.
They've lost their spirit. They really have. They've lost their fight right now.
Second night in a row, the Celtics have done this to a team. They're all still involved on the bench. Pat Riley felt his team is turning it around, coming back a little bit, but this is one of those nights you take a huge step backwards. Again, it's only one game, and you can't overreact to it.
But 15 games you can react to. 4-11 after tonight. Here's one of the questions about Rondo. Late in games, when you're trying to protect the lead, can he make free throws? He's shooting 43% from the free throw line. Can he make enough? When they leave him open late, will he step forward and take the shot? He's improved his shooting. He's worked hard at it. But will he have the confidence to take it late in games?
Haslam, nice feed from Davis. 81-55 as we wind down the third quarter. Blocking foul call on Mourning. He doesn't seem happy. He seems very angry. He's having words from Mark Ayotte. You know, you talk about certain players, and like Ray Allen was talking to us about Garnett, how he's pained by losing. Mourning's the same way. Mourning is one of those players, he's pained by losing.
He's a great competitor. You get the same thing from Mourning in a preseason game as you do a playoff game. Full effort.
A reminder, visit NBA.com where you can vote to send your favorite player to New Orleans for NBA All-Star 2008. Vote daily in 20 different languages. with the All-Star ballot presented by T-Mobile, online exclusively at NBA.com.
I wonder what the 20 different languages are.
You know, you asked this before. We need to find this out for you. Your curiosity is causing problems. Jason Williams hits a three.
What do you think that saying is, curiosity killed the cat? I don't even understand that.
Random thoughts from Jeff Van Gundy. These are where blowouts are a problem. You have too much time to think. Blocked by Mourning. That's 4 rejections for Mourning tonight. And what has otherwise been a dismal night for Miami. Williams comes back. Now, in the first meeting between these two teams, it was in Boston back on November 16th. The Heat were down 15 in the fourth quarter, went on a 15-0 run to tie the game, so trying to remain optimistic.
Wow, that's a stretch. But hey, could happen.
15-0 run would cut it to 7 here as Pierce misses, and the third quarter comes to an end. Celtics continue to pound their opponents. Another impressive display by Boston. 3 quarters complete here in Miami. It's been all Celtics tonight.
Slight reprieve for the Knicks, Mike Breen.
Well, Mark, an amazing thing in the NBA. How from one night to the next. And they were down double figures in that game.
Well, again, I think people jump to the conclusion that when you have a bad loss, you've automatically quit on your coach. They quit on the game last night, but they didn't necessarily quit on Isaiah Thomas last night.
Meanwhile, Jason Williams knocks that down. That's his 5th three-pointer, and it's a 19-point game. Ray Allen kicks it out. Eddie House fires away. Celtics have led by as many as 28. And they have just completely dominated the game, with the Heat trying to get back into it. Cook hits a three. And just like that, it's 16. Again, the first meeting between the two in Boston, Heat went on a 15-0 run when they trailed by 15 early in the fourth, tied the game. They wound up losing at the buzzer, but they came back. Pollard knocked away by Wade. 5 on the shot clock. And quickly Garnett's going to come back in.
I think that's a great substitution. You cannot allow this lead to get close to 10 and then under 10 without your best players on the floor. It's the value also of the three-point shot.
Rondo inbound, again 5 left to shoot. Davis denying Garnett. Posey off balance, won't go. Rebound Garnett. Just his 5th rebound of the game, but again he hasn't played huge minutes. Allen gets free, hand in his face, can't get it to go. Pollard an offensive rebound. Allen left open, won't go. And here comes Wade. Crowd suddenly back into the game. Wade to the basket, up and in, and a foul. Dwayne Wade with a beautiful move, and it's a 14-point game. What a quick turnaround to start this period.
Just a tremendous change of direction without the dribble to sidestep in a European Ginobili-like step and a finish to cut it to 13.
8 straight points to start the fourth quarter for the Heat.
Deron Williams of the Utah Jazz, some people call the future at the point guard position, 4th in the league in assists coming into the game tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers. Back to you, Mike.
That'll be a fun one to watch later, Mark. Thank you. Meanwhile, this one's starting to get a little fun. The Heat, 14 straight points going back to the third quarter. Let's have our Sirius satellite radio game track. Pierce and Garnett doing their usual job as they built a 28-point lead at the end of the third quarter. The two combining for the 45 points. And it's been all Boston, but three-point shooting at the Celtics the big lead early. And Miami now hitting several three-pointers here in the fourth. And what was a 28-point game has now been cut in half, and Dwayne Wade could further help the Heat here with one more free throw.
And they've got Garnett at the 5 now against O'Neal. How does O'Neal guard Garnett on the perimeter?
Posey, Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen, and Rondo in the game right now for the Celtics. O'Neal pokes it out of bounds.
It's a great effort by O'Neal. Guards a back cut, then guards a flash into the low post, and then denies with the deflection out of bounds.
Backdoor. Pierce deflected and stolen. Posey got a piece of it. And Cook able to pick it up. Wade on the drive to the basket to O'Neal. Lost the handle, and Rondo picks it up. Stolen back by Wade. Inside. And a blocking foul as Pierce was in the restricted area. 2 free throws for Wade.
Again, a lack of awareness by Rondo.
So that right heel was in there.
Good call.
Doc Rivers looking at Mark Ayotte. He didn't think it was a good call, but it was the right one.
His anger is really not at Mark Ayotte right now. It's at his team. You try to get your team to play 48 minutes. And they shut it down at 28 points. Now, sometimes it's hard to get it back going. And here we see Wade, one of the premier guys to get to the free throw line. And all those guys are perimeter drivers except Dwight Howard.
Well, Wade tonight, he's just 6 of 11 from the line. He's only shooting 70% so far this season from the line. Normally, for his career, he's at 78%. But it's a 13-point game. 15 straight points. Pierce, and a foul down low. It'll go against Cook. Cook with his 5th foul in 13 minutes. So Pierce back to the line. How often you see this on a nightly basis in the NBA? A team gets a big lead, they lose their edge a little bit, and it's very difficult to get that back.
It is. And when you talk about experience, that's when experience comes in. Knowing the flow of an NBA game, that you have to compete throughout. With the shot clock, with the three-point shot, leads are tenuous.
Still plenty of time remaining, as you see. And the Heat heard boos, some pretty harsh boos in the third quarter. Pierce misses, and O'Neal got hit. I think it's going to be another one on Posey. So Posey picks up his 3rd. And the Celtics already with 3 team fouls, just a little over 2 minutes into the 4th.
And the Heat obviously are trying to play quicker and faster right now, being down. Cook has 5 fouls. They don't have any really other perimeter players to add to that athletic part of their game. Darrell Wright is inactive. Started this year as a starter. Now he can't even get on the active roster.
Wade misses Garnett right there. And they're without Smush Parker. Parker, who has started some games in his first year in Miami, he's on the inactive list. Parker got involved in an incident with a parking attendant on Tuesday that police were investigating. Wade tips it, steals. Wade bumped by Rondo. Back to Williams, left-handed, won't go. Davis on the foul. And it's a 12-point game. And a foul on Jason Williams. 2nd team foul, 1st on Williams.
And he fouled in the backcourt because he felt he got fouled on the layup. And again, you're always trying to teach your players, don't compound your mistakes. If you miss a layup, don't foul 94 feet away from the basket. Don't overreact to a missed no call that you might have perceived to be a missed call.
Williams having another good game off the bench. He's got 17. Nearly stolen by Davis. Dives on it and saves it. Terrific play from Davis. Cook, he wanted to shoot. Gets it to Wade. Back out. Williams for 3. Rebound, Allen. The crowd back into it, and the Heat now playing with spirit.
I thought Wade should have tried to finish that when he was point blank at the rim.
O'Neal helping out. Allen's been struggling shooting after a good start. Pierce with a hand in his face. Davis and Garnett were wrestling down low trying to fight for the rebound. Wade for three. Garnett tip won't go, but Rondo able to secure it. They've had some opportunities. Wade just 2 of 10 from the field.
I don't like that shot. You got to get some O'Neal touches in the paint against Garnett.
Garnett and O'Neal battling. Here goes Rondo. Kicks it out to Allen. Allen fires away. Way off the mark. Cook the rebound. Ray Allen has now missed his last 12 shots from the field. Davis. Another quick shot. Boy, Pat Riley's got to be beside himself.
The last 3 threes. Again, you can't take away the freedom, but you got to feel the rhythm of the game. If you've just taken 2 questionable shots in a row, you need to work to get a better one.
Pierce gets a good one, but can't hit it. Ball tipped and taken by Williams. Jason Williams calls timeout. As the Heat will take a breath, they've got themselves back in the game, and they've got the crowd back into it as well. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the fourth. Heat within a dozen.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by the new all Jeep Liberty. The Golden Compass, starring Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig, in theaters December 7th. And Adidas, run with a brotherhood. Text KG to Adidas. Impossible is nothing.
You know Kobe Bryant's nickname? Black Mamba, after the most lethal snake on the planet. Kobe's game lethal right now, 2nd in the league in scoring. Lakers Jazz coming up next, Mike.
All right, Mark. Nickname.
I've never heard one person call him that.
I don't know. Well, the truth, Paul Pierce leads the way with 27, but Ray Allen's missed 12 shots in a row. And an 11-1 run to start this fourth quarter from Miami. How about the Celtics 0 for 7 with 4 turnovers so far in the fourth?
Well, again, as a coach, you're always trying to convince your team to play the full 48 and not look at the scoreboard, play the game, don't play the score.
Ricky Davis looking for an opening. Davis, head fake, shot clock down to 7. Williams on the drive. Jason Williams scoop layup. Tipped by O'Neal, won't go. And Posey has it. I mentioned Allen. Remember, he had that game against Charlotte where he was struggling and then hit the big shot. They call him Killer Ray, and they say when the money's on the line. O'Neal trying to poke it away.
Who calls him Killer Ray?
The Celtics do. Garnett calls him that. I know, we're over nickname. Posey to the basket. Rushed it. Garnett on the follow. And that's their first field goal of the fourth quarter.
And the Heat had a window of opportunity, 4 straight possessions, where they had a great opportunity to cut further into this lead.
Jason Williams does it that time, and it's back to 12. 19 for Williams. Pierce to the basket. Can't finish. Wade to Williams. Cook for 3.
But that's a good 3-point shot, Mike, in transition. A corner 3, feet set, excellent shooter, a shot in rhythm. That's much different than the Ricky Davis pull-up.
They've missed their last 4 3-pointers after hitting 3 in a row. You're still down by a dozen. Pierce. These shots were falling in the first 3 quarters. Not the case here in the fourth. Wade to the basket. Blocked. Garnett got a piece of it. And they hold on. Excellent defense by the Celtics. Rondo on the drive. And Allen says, let's slow it down. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Heat trying an improbable comeback. A game they trailed by 28 late in the third. And Cook is just fouled out. So he fouls out in 18 minutes. And there you see just 2 of 11. And O'Neal not getting a lot of scoring opportunities as well.
Somehow, some way, O'Neal's got to have double-figure shots. 12, 14, 15 attempts if he's going to play 32, 33, 34 minutes. And Wade, even when he's struggling through a tough night, I'd much rather see him getting up 18, 19, 20 shots.
He's also struggled from the free throw line. Wade 6 of 11. So Cook fouls out. Haslam back in. Pierce on the drive. Offensive foul. Haslam, who leads the team in charges drawn, does it again. Pierce's 4th foul.
It's a good drive by Pierce, good help by Haslam, and a good call by the official.
Haslam has drawn 11 charges this year. The rest of the team 10 combined.
When I was in New York working with Coach Riley, he used to pay for the charges. I think it's against collective bargaining now.
Haslam puts it in. 10-point game. How much per charge?
Well, when we went on a 15-game winning streak, he had said at the start, I'll double it each game. Well, by the 15th game, you had guys diving in front of anybody who was even moving. Eric Anderson, who was our last man on the bench in the 15th win, dove in front of 2 in the last 4 minutes of the game, which equaled his monthly salary.
Pierce can't hit the open shot. Williams the rebound. Pierce has missed his last 9 shots. Allen has missed his last 12 shots. They've had some good looks, too. Williams. Ricky Davis. Back out. Williams for 3. Bang! 7-point game.
Mark Jones back in the studio. The Utah Jazz lead the Northwest Division coming into play tonight. They recently went 2-1 on their road trip. And Mike Breen, Kobe does have a shoe called Mamba coming out soon. Believe me, I'm not making it up.
Well, of course we believe you, Mark. Jeff is just skeptical about everything.
Is that a snake?
We can't get into this discussion now. Look at that fourth quarter score. 18-3, 24-3 going back. They've scored 3 points in over 8 minutes here in the fourth quarter. And this crowd chanting defense.
O'Neal's energy on defense is incredible right now.
Allen banks it in. Ray Allen, big shot after missing 12 in a row. Always thinks the next one's going in. It was 83-55, a 28-point lead with under a minute to go in the third. And the Heat slowly chipping away. Davis, shot clock winding down. He's got to put it up. Won't go. Rebound taken by Rondo.
That's a slow developing after timeout play.
Garnett trying to post up O'Neal. Allen on the drive. Tough shot blocked by Wade. Haslam with a rebound. Wade. Haslam short jumper. Haslam puts it in. He's got 18. It's back to 7.
I really like what Shaquille O'Neal's doing on the defensive end of the floor, fronting the post, making multiple efforts.
Rondo gets in, nearly throws it away. Williams deflects it. 10 on the shot clock.
When Rondo drives, for the most part, against size like O'Neal, he's going to think pass. Very good reaction by Jason Williams to veer back into that passing lane.
Allen on the drive, gets inside and draws the foul. So Ray Allen to the free throw line. Heat trying to make an improbable comeback. Largest fourth quarter comeback in NBA history. 28 points by Milwaukee back in 1977. That was against the Atlanta Hawks. The Heat were down 28 with 46 seconds to go in the third. And it was 22 when we began the fourth year. Allen, one of the best free throw shooters in the history of the NBA, who actually missed a couple of key ones in a loss to Cleveland earlier. But he always wants to go to the line in a clutch situation. 16 for Allen. And the Heat will call a timeout. It's been a terrific comeback, but they're still down 9, and now there's only 2:05 remaining. Timeout. Heat ball when we return.
Mark Jones back in the studio. Kobe Bryant must love the thin, rarefied air in Utah because he's averaging over 40 a game over the last 3 against the Jazz. Lakers Jazz next, Mike.
Look forward to that one coming up. Meanwhile, the Heat trying to make a game of it. They may be running out of time. 90-81. Still a 9-point lead for the Boston Celtics, but a 28-point lead shrunk to 7. All right, if you're Miami, down by 9, when do you start thinking about you've got to start shooting threes?
Well, I don't think it's as much threes. Quick scores, quick attacking scores, and then I might think of fouling Rondo every time he touches the ball. Make a 43% free throw shooter step up and make.
Rondo remains on the court. Wade.
2 minutes.
O'Neal. There's the double coverage. Banks it in. Back to 7. 11 points for Shaquille O'Neal. His first bucket of the fourth quarter. Has not had a lot of shot opportunities all night.
Inexplicably, really.
Heat need a stop. Stolen and a whistle. There was definitely contact, and that's a good call. Third foul on Wade.
A good trap by O'Neal forced Allen to spin back to half court.
No question. The fans chanting refs, good try. Very derogatory towards the refs on that, but that was the right call from Ronnie Garrettson. Ray Allen 9 for 9, as you see from the line tonight. For his career, he's just under 90%, an incredible number. 1:41 remaining. 8-point game. Williams looking. Back to Wade. Lost it. Stolen by Allen, and then he gets mauled. No, they call a jump ball. Haslam and Allen with a jump ball. Boy, it looked like Allen got mauled. How can that be a jump ball?
I'm dumbfounded. If it looks like a foul, and a guy has his arms wrapped around another guy, I mean, the Dolphins could use Udonis Haslam right now.
That's a bad call. Violet Power trying to explain it to Doc Rivers.
See, right there, the best thing an official can just do is say, I missed it. I was wrong. Because then it just cuts out all the yelling. Now they're going to try to get the jumper.
They've reset the shot clock. And that's what Doc Rivers is yelling about, because the shot clock would go to 5 if the Miami Heat won the tip, if it was under 5 and time on the clock was going down. He's got a legitimate beat there.
Ray Allen had possession when he was tackled.
Yeah, you're right. That's why they did reset it. Ball knocked out of bounds. They say last touch by Jason Williams. Williams yelling at Ronnie Garrettson, he better be careful.
Oh. See, if Rondo touches it now, I've got to foul him. You cannot let 24 seconds go by. You're down 8.
And they still say Celtic ball. 1:13 remaining. 15 on the shot clock. Celtics, by the way, have a foul to give. Both teams with multiple timeouts, and Doc Rivers is going to take one of them right now. So a full timeout call by the Celtics. They've seen a 28-point lead cut to 7 at one point. It's right now 8, as Boston will have the ball when we return.
Derek Fisher making his return to Utah for the first time since becoming a Laker for the second time, a guy that really left an indelible mark on the landscape there in Salt Lake City. Mike, back to you. That's coming up next.
Okay, Mark, what we thought was going to be a boring blowout has turned into an exciting finish. The Heat storming back from a 28-point deficit with less than a minute to go in the third, cut it to 7. It's been a terrific comeback, but now there's only a minute 13 remaining.
And if you're Pat Riley, you're wondering, why not that inspiration before that moment where you got down 28?
They've taken Rajon Rondo out, the poor free throw shooter. So your strategy, perhaps on the mind of Doc Rivers. Shot clock winding down. Allen falling away. Blocked by Wade. Haslam with the rebound. Here comes Wade. Pass trying to jam it in. Stolen. Deflected by Garnett. And then a foul against Miami. The hands of Kevin Garnett. Second turnover he's forced here in the last couple of seconds.
But again, I'm surprised Wade didn't go on the attack mode. He backed it out to try to thread the needle to Haslam. He had an angle on Garnett.
Garnett, a pretty imposing figure, though, when you're driving at him.
And Wade pretty imposing when he's coming at you, too, I might add.
Doc Rivers still talking about that jump ball call with Violet Palmer, as Posey will go to the line. Posey has missed his only free throw so far tonight for the season. He's at 83%.
Doc should have thrown out that red challenge flag that NFL coaches have.
Your cross-sports commentary is very impressive. We've had baseball analogies, football analogies. You talked tennis with Maria Sharapova earlier.
Big Davis Cup match led by Patrick McEnroe coming up against Russia.
10-point game. And Pierce fouls Davis. They had a foul to give. She's staying to the end, but she's starting to set up the rest of her evening. Final 46 seconds. Heat need to score in a hurry. Bad pass. Rondo the steal and brings it back out. And that last turnover had done it. 5th steal of the game for Rondo. He has terrific anticipation.
Wade is just disjointed tonight offensively. Not a typical Wade performance.
Garnett draws the foul. Count it and 1. And now the Celtics can relax after a valiant comeback attempt by the Heat. It's going to fall short as Pat Riley's team will fall to 4-11 as they get ready to head out for that 6-game West Coast trip. 15 steals, by the way, for the Boston Celtics. They had a 20-steal game earlier. That's an NBA season high so far. And Garnett with some key deflections on the final couple of possessions. Davis launches up a three. That one won't go. O'Neal the rebound. And gets the banker to go. Well, the Boston Celtics will improve to an NBA best. 13-2. Last year they didn't win their 13th game until February 14th. Here it is, November the 30th. They hold off a strong comeback attempt from Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics. Final score, the Celtics 95 and the Heat 85. Coming up next on ESPN, the second game of our doubleheader, Lakers and Jazz from Utah. For more on this game, tune into ESPN News. For Jeff Van Gundy and our entire ESPN HD crew, this is Mike Green saying so long from Miami. Now let's head to Utah. Dan Schulman and Hubie Brown. Take it away, Dan.